This is AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, an almost regularly scheduled open discussion on audio and video in higher education. We'll sound off about our most brilliant ideas, our dumbest mistakes, and everything in between. And because this conversation will almost certainly go off the rails at some point, we'll end up covering just about everything else. And now, the AV SuperFriends. For January 9th, 2026, it's the best sounding and most loving and caring podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends Off the Rails, episode number 129. Good gravy, that's a lot of them.
That's a whole lot.
Broadcasting live from the frozen heart of mid-January, except apparently in Kentucky, where it's 87 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's hot as hell here, man.
The semester is new, the coffee is strong, and everyone's pretending they're well-rested after the break.
No,
I'm not.
Nope.
Windows are open.
Okay. It's a brand new calendar year, and today we've got panelists joining us from coast to coast, including two from Oregon.
Whoa. Which
means statistically someone is wearing a hoodie. But I see him. Wait, Jamie's got a hoodie on. I'll take it.
Taking the points?
Yeah.
Go for
Hold on.
They're yours.
So if your classrooms are just coming back online, your ticket queue is waking up, and your student workers can't remember where all the classrooms are, you're among friends. It's time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure with the AV Super Friends. And let's say hello to this motley panel of Super Friends with this one. Our first panelist is responsible for rebooting processes, rebranding last year's unfinished projects, and declaring legacy problems as out of scope. He's a director of, where'd they go? He's director of New Year Systems Reset and Operational Alignment from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt.
Yep.
I don't have anything for that.
All right. Our next panelist focuses on the critical first 6 weeks of the semester, after which the responsibility is redistributed and meetings are rescheduled. He's an assistant director for transitional momentum and early term outcomes from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Mark Kolozinski.
We're just following the data. The data says after we get to cruising altitude, we're good to go. Hand it off to somebody else.
It's just like getting things started.
Mm-hmm. We just get off the ground, and somebody else takes over.
Our next panelist ensures that every January and every August includes at least one new framework, dashboard, slogan, or something, regardless of any sort of previous attempts. He's a senior manager of strategic fresh starts and continuous improvement from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Mr. Larry Darling.
Okay, I got a request. As the oldest member of the group, I don't want to be senior anything anymore. I'm getting too old for that.
He's a junior manager of strategic fresh starts.
Thank you. That makes me feel better.
How old are you?
82.
That?
I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 next year.
No one else is 50 here?
Justin, you're 50. You can be 50.
No, I'm not.
Speaking of our 50-year-old panelist here, our next panelist oversees institutional momentum, kickoff alignment, and this semester will be different initiatives across all IT divisions. He's a vice president for academic readiness and semester optimization from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
I'm the person who tries to keep the institution running and with purpose and humans and stuff and AI. Sure.
Just, put that down. That's great.
All of it.
And finally, joined by our special guest panelist, and we think current leader of guest appearances on AV Super Friends. Oops. He crafts emails, slide decks, and town halls that strongly imply everything is under control. He's a coordinator of semester launch communications and expectation management from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Raul Burial.
Additional duties as described.
You got to tell people everything's fine, or they'll question it.
Anyway, okay. Well, you got there, Chris.
We ran out of the show on that one, or the song rather. The song like got all the way to the end there.
Yeah, there's some weird titles in there. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I take the blame.
It's fine.
So on today's show, we're going to discuss what happens when we lose trust in a hardware or software company, or even in the hardware or software from one of those companies, and can that trust ever be regained, and what that might look like, and all that fun stuff. And we're talking about our favorite conference of the year that you all need to be attending every year, the NWMET conference, the Northwest Met conference, the NWMET conference, however you want to talk about it. We're going to talk about that and give a little early preview about some stuff coming up, and Raul will tell us why we need to be there. But first, some housekeeping. So if you're listening to this as a recorded MP3, hey, welcome to the future. We're streaming live every Friday at about 3:15 Eastern, 12:15 Pacific, or somewhere in there. Whenever we get this House of Cards taped back together, we will go live. So that time, like your New Year's resolutions, is kind of more of a guideline, really. But please join us for that on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. And when we remember, we'll get on other platforms as we get on there. So, and I don't have it set up again. If you can't join us live, please make it one of your New Year's resolutions to connect with us on the socials. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, and YouTube to keep up with what we're breaking, fixing, or ranting about. Please don't forget to spread the word. Make that another New Year's resolution. Share this podcast with your friends, enemies, perfect strangers, and that one person who still thinks HDMI handshakes are a myth and refuse to unplug and replug to fix all the problems. If you feel like tackling people in public and forcing them to listen to a few dozen episodes, we're not endorsing that. If you'd like to support the show as we boldly stumble through another year of AV nonsense, please consider donations. Your contributions will help to keep us delivering you the honest content that you love or that you love to hate. You can find the donation link in the show notes or on the website right at the top. We do want to hear from you if there's a topic you want us to cover, AI, classrooms, AI, leadership, AI, why nothing seems to work the first week of the semester when it was just working 2 weeks ago. Please send us an email to mailbag@AVSuperFriends or ping us on those aforementioned socials. And finally, while you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever the heck you're getting this thing, whatever random application or service you are using and we appear on that application, please go leave us a rating and review because that does help us grow. It forces new listeners to be exposed to us, and it convinces the algorithm that AV people actually mean something and this is actually interesting.
I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch.
Whoa.
It might happen.
It's a bit of a stretch.
Anyway, this is our first full show of the new year, so thanks for sticking with us for yet another year. We genuinely couldn't do this without you suckers who are paying attention to us right now. So thanks again.
Like it or not.
And with that in mind, that's been a lot of content. We're going to take a break for a commercial.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
Commercial?
Let's do a commercial.
We haven't done anything yet.
Do you want me to skip this commercial? I can skip it.
Nope, go for it.
All right, commercial right now.
Ever notice that many PowerPoint presentations are still in 4:3 aspect ratio? How many years have wide aspect displays been the standard, and yet here we are, with content stuck in 4:3 territory? New from Independent Amalgamated, the 4:3 Fix-It font. Leaded and kerned to look its best when stretched, the 4:3 Fix-It font will fill out both horizontally and vertically when content is expanded to fill 16:10, 21:9, or the one true aspect ratio, 16:9. Our team of dedicated, artisan hipsters trained for years to specialize in custom typefaces, specifically designed to be displayed in a distorted format. They work tirelessly, sometimes for as long as 15 or 20 minutes a day to handcraft the perfect font family. So you don't have to worry about the display for your content. Don't worry about matching your content to the display. Let the 4:3 Fix-It font make those adjustments automatically. And coming soon, the 4:3 Fix-It font Portrait Mode Edition. Available exclusively at independentamalgamated.com.
Raul, make sure to use one of the 4:3 Fix-It fonts for your Everything is Okay PowerPoints beginning of the semester. Or you guys are on quarters, you're on terms.
Yeah, we somehow go back later and finish later and earlier all at the same time. Not sure how it works, but we always get into this weird math.
You start earlier, you stay later, you do more terms every year. I don't know how that works.
Not sure. But you guys are always out like 2 months ahead of time and go back.
For us, commencement's next week. We're done.
Yeah, you guys are done. It's like, not sure where it happens, and somehow we cross. But whatever.
All righty. Now, let's do some real content and have Justin sing along live to the theme. Let's do the news.
Yay.
Yeah.
And we decided we're not going to have just one news story on this one because CES is going on. We're just going to talk about CES nonsense because a lot of the stuff that shows up at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, bits and pieces of it show up into kind of the commercial realms. This stuff starts showing up, or people just bring it with them into their classrooms and conference rooms, and they try to make this stuff work. We were kind of looking through some top lists. There's a lot of just different trends. I think we're seeing AI attached to everything. There's creepy Terminator robots now also with AI possibly everywhere. They can all do laundry. They can all make coffee, and they will all kill you in your sleep. So look forward to that. But what do you guys see out there
they can't walk, so they just kind of topple
They all
over.
have weird wheels that are driving around. So What are you guys seeing out there for trends from CES that we will see bits and pieces of into kind of more of our realm in, the about what, 3 to 5 years? 3 years, maybe?
The increased need to have reliable Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing is like if you do not have super high bandwidth, fast network connectivity at the ready for all of your wearables and all your stuff like that, it's going to be worthless.
Wi-Fi or the wearable?
That too.
Yes.
Both can be true. I think it's more connected everything. I think we've talked about it in the past. Like, and this just kind of shows that up and then wedge in some AI for marketing purposes, and you got a product for success. We'll sell thousands of these units, Justin.
Right. And I think even outside of the physical realm, I think the Ignite Tech, my persona virtual stand-in for meetings, like that's going to be interesting.
Wait, where's that one? I didn't see it.
What the?
You haven't seen that one? I will put it in
That's
the notes.
Put that in the
Too
chitty
busy
chat
to
so I can
commit
look
to
at
going
it.
to that meeting that you already committed
Yeah,
to
what
2
is
years
it?
ago?
Why is
Send
this so
this
cool?
robot version of yourself
Sell me
in
on
replacement.
This,
Sell me this
I see
pen,
it.
Larry.
How do you know that's not what this is, Justin?
yeah, this is basically
I don't
it.
know. I could be talking to robots right now for all I know.
It takes your recordings, it puts a virtual you in your meeting so you don't have to attend. And then after the meeting, you get the email. So the meeting that could have been an email can literally be an email now.
But
This is
I'm
what
doing
I've been-
that with Otter right now.
We made this prediction long ago. There will be a day where nobody will attend meetings, just the AI versions of ourselves. There'll be all
Yeah.
these virtual meetings
But that's
with
not-
nobody in it, and we're all just going to read summaries.
And it's
But that's
better than
not
it used
new.
to be because it used to be that like it would be like a video of you, but it couldn't interact. If your boss asks the virtual you a question, well, it's smart enough to know how you would answer, and it's going to respond to that question.
Bullshit. What are they looking at?
They're
Are they
looking at
seeing-
it looks like you.
It looks like you. It acts like you, as
Like you.
trained for its context and the rag that it's there, and that it is your canned responses. Justin's
Yeah.
like, I don't like architects. No,
And
we
I'll
shouldn't
talk
do
about
that.
Kentucky,
And so yeah,
the
it's all
business
that same
school.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does
And it
that.
does that a lot
that
too.
is
It does
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
Justin,
I
they have
can
a
just
web.
see
only
this
wanted to
now.
do
Be
this.
like, hey, we're on this new project. We're going to kick it off. We have so and so here. It's a consultant from whatever, and Justin's avatar is going to be like, "F off! Consultants suck."
Will it do that for me?
Yes, it will.
It could save you so much
Spot
time
on.
just with that.
Spot on.
Probably once, but yes.
Justin, if you're interested, they have a website you could look at. If you want to take a look at that right
What's
now,
this
just
called?
go to penis.ai.
Oh no, not again.
Is that spelling's weird?
Human replacements was a big story
AI.
at CES, whether it's virtual avatars or robots that will do your jobs for you.
Yep.
The question then is, are your robots getting paid the same amount as you're getting paid?
They're getting paid more.
There's a lot of manufacturing companies out there that are actually leaning into humanoid-looking robots, which is unusual, that are going to start rolling out into the assembly line, but also we're starting to see, of course, robot vacuums in the home that will do things like climb stairs, which is very revolutionary. Usually they just fall off the stairs. So this is going to be very different.
Perspective.
Hey, my robot goes to the bottom of the stairs and just does this, and then it turns around and goes away.
I think I saw an article somewhere that was getting into some of the wrong reasoning with some of these concepts, that we shouldn't actually be trying to teach AI to do things that humans do, because that makes the gross assumption that the things that humans do is actually correct to begin with. And so providing all this technology to do and mimic human behavior, whether it be these robots or even click processes through on digital domains, like the machine knows what the machine's capable of more efficiently than what the humans do. So we're actually kind of wish casting here, like, hey, it's going to replace all this physical stuff. In reality, like, it doesn't need to do that. We could actually architect systems that are just way more efficient if we just didn't have the human involved with to begin with, and we wouldn't need the robot on 2 legs because the systems would just do it.
Wait, you said if the systems didn't involve humans to start with,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we've spent years and years building systems where humans are the ones.
Well, what I
that
mean
pull
is,
those
but if
levers.
we have processes in place that involve humans, the solution then is to remove the humans.
Correct.
Always.
So we'll have robots who will go from house to house and
No, we won't need
Get
those
rid of all
things.
humans.
The systems they're interacting with were just
That's
designed
where
that
it's
way.
headed.
Yeah,
I'm just saying this is all
Not
getting
that-
to, it's all
not
getting to
that
Skynet
bad,
in terms.
guys.
yes, that's the goal.
Not
We'll get there.
doomsday. It's going to be fine.
Today.
Be all right.
It might be.
So Larry, what's that?
I'm just saying there
software
may or
called?
may not be a Faraday cage around my
Yeah,
house.
you'll be all right. You'll be fine.
But
Put the link in the notes. It's
What notes?
my personas.
My persona. There we go.
Yeah,
There's-
in the
So
chat.
how about now? This was a thing last year, and now there's more. But the at-home big ass screens,
there's some.
the 150.
Yeah, where's the one I had? I had an article here about
LEDs.
the displays.
Was it Samsung? The 115
Well-
standard kit?
What?
Yeah,
No,
so-
Samsung announced a 130.
130, that's right, sorry.
Which is interesting because it's a 130 mini RGB, the RGB being the backlight behind the panel, which means there's a 130-inch sheet of glass over this thing, I think,
Well,
which
it
is
only
ridiculous.
weighs a metric ton, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Once you reinforce the floors, it's great.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Can we put
There
this in
was
there's
actually some revolutionary things in terms of televisions. There is the clear televisions. Basically, they're a window.
Say Peppers Ghost.
so you can
Say Peppers
see
Ghost.
through them.
I can't now.
But also,
Cool, you
and
can't.
this is something I think Mark will relate to very much. There's a lot more picture frame TVs
Oh,
out there.
Yeah.
Amazon with their Fire
those are
TVs
bad.
is getting into the business as well, which means they're just going to become cheaper and more affordable, and everyone's going to want a picture frame TV.
Yeah,
worse.
LG had a new version of their wallpaper, and Mark, I did think of you because it came up and it said I'm looking for the description here. It uses a wireless box, so they're trying to remove as much stuff from it. So I know you love the
Yes.
wireless connectivity boxes. For
We had
these
to go
things.
out of our way to find the old version that was sans wireless so that we could even do it. And we got the last known one in existence. And so-
I want to know which one of you will have the new Dell 52-inch, like 12 billion K pixel count monitor.
No,
Desktop
it's terrible because
monitor.
it's curved in the wrong aspect ratio. So
I don't think it is. I think it's
What
regular.
else?
no, it's 21 by 9 and
21:9.
curved. So
Yeah. It's like three 32-inch TVs or displays turned on their sides.
Yeah, just-
so it's interesting. Yep.
Oh
so you
my
can do all
god! I
that
just
front
signed
row
up for
stuff.
it.
You need that.
I clicked 2 buttons and I signed
You're
up
in.
for it.
They got you.
Those dirty bastards.
but and
It said I clicked 2 buttons like you're done. You're signed.
You're logged
didn't
in.
sign
It
up for
has your
anything.
Google. I mean,
they got your credit card and
You're in
everything.
there.
It's on the way. It'll be there on
Yeah,
Thursday.
put my
what?
credit card in.
Well, there we have it.
What the?
This
hell?
reminds
So,
me of that.
Jamie,
They
you're
said
not
to do
wrong.
that.
We see display technologies, some of which never make it to market in the form we see it in, but that sort of stuff then shows up. So we see the larger displays, the thinner displays, the higher brightness displays, the higher color depth displays that will all kind of translate into stuff that we start seeing in a year or two.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
three.
and I think the giant
I don't
115
know.
plus inch things for home, whatever. But like the Dell 52-inch behemoth, I mean, that's going to happen. We all have Dell contracts. Somebody's going to try to get one of these things into a conference room, their office space, and be like, "Hey, can you run this off?" No,
It's fine as long as it's
Chris is like, "Well, it's 720p. It's going to look awesome."
Mhm.
as long as it's modular. I don't care if it's one thing.
Oh, it's one thing.
I mean, I mean, the showstopper so far has been the Lego bricks, right? I mean, is that where we're at?
Oh, those are pretty cool.
Is that
I think the AI powered hair clippers is my
You don't have any
showstopper.
hair. Do you have hair?
I
A
do.
little
And
hair.
this is because the person using the clippers didn't know what they were doing. I think if they
So
had the
you want-
AI powered ones, I'd be okay.
Larry,
What do they
explain
do?
AI clippers.
Sell
like
me on
a
this.
Flowbee.
It's kind of, that's a joke I made earlier, actually.
Let's see. I have it right here. Let's see. If we can
No,
dig
it's
this
got
up.
like this, you wear this visor thing that like maps your
Goggles?
head.
Here we go.
And then the AI clippers will move the blades in and out based on where it is in relationship.
So
So you move your head into the clippers?
this
Is that what
the-
you're
No,
doing?
the
you
glide-
move the
the-
clippers,
the
but
glide
the
smart.
blades move.
Yeah, Glide Smart Hair
Glide.
Clippers. The Glide is trying to solve one of the most frustrating parts of grooming.
What are
Cutting
the
your
goggles
own-
doing?
No, that's different. The company introduced AI-powered smart hair clippers designed to guide the cut for you. You wear a simple headband that marks where a fade should start, choose a style in the app, and let the clippers do the rest. Built-in sensors track your speed, your angle, movement in real time, automatically adjusting the blade to keep cuts even and fades smooth. Not a
So
sponsor.
in Justin's manscaping, this will work.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I don't know
I'm
why
pretty
you
sure
would
this
need
is.
that for that.
I'm envisioning the
I do
micro
enjoy-
lawnmower, like
I
the
do
thing that's out in your
enjoy my
lawn.
banana
AI just like
hammocks.
tracking
Yeah,
around.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So yeah.
I do enjoy wearing banana hammocks. I do it. Yeah, that's right.
With AI. Yep. Okay. Well, anything else that anybody has to have out of this? Rel, what's anything we missed? You were on this.
I
Sounds
think
like I need
one
to do
thing that's
more
going to be really revolutionary is going to be like the transparent CCDs. It basically puts the CCD in the glass itself, and it makes for flat lenses, whether it's my glasses or a lens on a camera phone. It makes it so that the lenses themselves don't have to be curved anymore. I could change the prescription on my glasses by simply sending a different signal to the glasses themselves.
Yeah, I saw that one, like the autofocus glasses or something. I'm trying to find that link now.
Huh.
So it's still very nascent, but there's a lot of research that's going into that. Right now, they're showing off like prototypes at CES, but in the next couple of years, and I understand it's going to reduce camera bumps on your phones. It's going to make it so that arguably your phone doesn't need the little cutout on the front for the camera, because they can just put it behind the screen itself or as part of the screen.
See, this is why I show up to these shows, Larry.
Just to get these links.
So I can learn stuff.
Why are you yelling at me? I
And
informed
Jamie.
you about two things.
And one of them he signed up for has a credit card in his mother's
I
maiden
know.
name.
No, that's
Yeah.
why.
One
That's why I
thing
show
already
up to.
owns your likeness.
Yeah, that's why I show up to these podcasts.
We
is
need to do
learn
that.
about
We could
stuff.
have an AI version of all of us if one of us can't make it.
Yeah.
Can we
Go
do
on
a
anyway.
podcast with all AI of us and see what
sure.
happens? Let it run.
It probably will contribute much better than me, so let's go with it.
Our highest rated show ever.
I'm gonna work
Do
on
anything.
that.
It was just intro, outro, done. People love it.
I did find this IXI's auto-focusing glasses. They feature an elegant cameraless eye tracking system that uses low power LEDs and photodiodes to precisely monitor the user's eye movement and focus convergent, driving a liquid crystal lens layer, enabling a focus switch between near and far in less than 0.2 seconds.
Oh my God, this shit's expensive.
Focus your gaze elsewhere and your glasses return to normal prescription. So it's like bifocals, trifocals, whatever, but it's one piece of glass that is adjusting.
It's like autofocus
the
on a
depth,
camera.
I guess.
Just zip it around. Like it.
It's Samsung and LG are both working on the chips for that, so that's happening. It's coming soon, and that does lead into like those transparent televisions as well. When you don't have when you're not using them, it's just a pane of glass on your wall, but when you turn it on, it's a TV.
Skynet. It's all Skynet.
Larry, have you looked at my persona's cost?
I just imagine get those glasses. They're all going, and we see you were looking at this a lot today. You were not focused on the work.
I look forward to people on the highway driving along with their glasses, and the autofocus locks up, and now they can't see anything. Just plowing into people.
Your subscription ran out, so
There you go.
Turn it off.
Reverts back.
Justin, my persona, you were.
Oh,
cost.
dude. So if
they
I'm
ask you
reading
to
this
put dots
correctly,
on your face,
the
don't.
basic version. Wait, Larry, you're muted. The basic version is $200 a month, but $2 per conversation.
Whoa.
How much is your time worth?
That's cheap if you're not going to work.
The next
No
version
fraction of a job.
is $24.50 a month. That's
What?
$2,500 a month,
What does that do?
plus only $1.50 per conversation.
So what platforms is this compatible with, by the way? Is there any reference there?
Only MTRs.
Can we pay for this for a month and bring him in as a guest? I want to get a persona
Well,
of
it'd have to
somebody.
be one of us. There'd be
Oh my
like two
God,
of us.
it's like your bill is $10,000. Like, no, I don't want to pay that. Like,
Draining our account right now. We can't just do like a quick month of this and just spin up a persona?
you can do like this slider where it's like this replaces this many experts with this salary, and then daily questions, and then it's like, yeah, your cost is $100,000 a year for replacing your employee. Like, there's this sliding bar.
Oh,
Can you
God.
just
share that
allows
screen? I
boss
just really want to see what's going
I
on
can't.
here.
Check this shit out, guys. Hold on. Let me figure this out. So I can click this button.
So it's
I
actually
got to modify stuff.
relaying
Go
this
ahead.
Screen.
as here's the amount of people you can replace with this feature. Like this,
Yes.
this is the most
That's
evil
weird.
of all language you can use.
I'm going to share this. I hope I'm doing this shit right. Hold on.
Well, you're not sharing anything yet.
Here we
So,
go.
all right, there's-
Window.
Yep,
I see
here
it.
it is. Bring it in.
Okay, so you can't really see it, but this first slider says
glad you're
number of
sharing.
experts, and I can slide it to 5.
Why are we buying experts? I just want
I
to
don't
replace
know.
me.
And then the average salary per year.
Oh my god.
Daily questions answered is 120, and then average response time. I want my response time to be 70. What the fuck does 70 mean? And then that cost is $145,000 a year for 3,047
Is that
hours.
saved or what we're paying?
I don't know.
That says monthly savings.
What does 70 mean? 70 seconds, 70 days?
Okay, so
70
this
minutes?
is if we procure this at $199 a month, and we have this thing configured to answer these questions
business.
at this level of salary,
2 experts.
this is what we're
every
saving.
Places. I'm gonna. My salary's $150 a year.
it's doing the
Per
math
year,
of it,
daily questions of-
It's saving you this amount of time.
60 questions answered a day. That's only $216,000 a year,
Yeah, that's not bad.
with an average response time of 10. 28,000. So
Whatever that
if my
means.
response time goes down in numbers, my cost goes down. What does this even mean? What is?
I don't care. I think we should buy it. Let's get it.
What's my response time of?
Oh, that was, your price per month. Your
310,000.
price per month went way up.
per month.
You're at $24.90
This
a
is
month.
$310,000 a month.
No.
It's savings.
It's savings.
Where
Look
is
at
it
the
saving me
left
money?
oh my
Looks
gosh.
like it's costing money.
It does. $2,500 a month. Okay, well, we got it. So
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
We're all
I'm going
in.
to stop
Yeah.
sharing. This is crazy.
if this company wants to come
I
on
do
and give
like
us
this
a
idea
demo,
of-
I want to see it. So
I like this idea of budgeting things based on how much you saved, not what it
Yes.
costs.
I agree.
So no, your new conference room doesn't cost $25,000. You saved $50,000 on this. How much
Right,
it
not
cost?
talking
No,
to an
you
integrator or
saved.
consultant.
this sounds like everybody's conversation after the weekend when somebody came out. I had to buy this today. I saved so much money. We know how this
It was
conversation
on sale.
goes. Yeah.
It was on
It's
sale.
on the end cap. Don't worry about it.
I was talking to a vendor this week about an AI education product wherein they use avatars, but they're not scanning. They use made-up avatars, and you plug in the curriculum into the platform, and then that avatar will create short-form videos that they can use in the teaching. And my only thought there would be that your faculty would lose their goddamn shit.
That is the
Oh, yeah.
worst case fear that everybody has been screaming about for the last.
Yes.
The moment AI
Yes.
was mentioned, that was the exact scenario. Everybody's like, no.
Long before lecture capture. Why would any faculty member want to support lecture capture? Or if you record my lecture, then you could fire me tomorrow and just play back the videos. This has been going on for years. It's about to become a reality.
Yeah, now we won't just replay the videos. We'll feed the videos to the AI who will create better presentations.
Just put,
We'll take
just
your
put these
pre-recorded
glasses
library.
on and we'll deliver them straight to you.
This all sounds stupid.
And we'll cut your hair.
And it'll cut your hair. Barbershop education facility. That's where we're
I
at.
want to go one step further. Can we get enough of these pre-recorded things to build enough avatars? We can create an unauthorized digital twin of your university. And now we can ransomware your institution. If you don't pay up, we're going to release virtual, university right
A
next
worse
door.
version.
Somebody's listening right now going,
They're writing this down.
hold my
Yeah.
beer.
Shut up. This is all good ideas.
All right. Well,
All right. Let's take a quick break. We're going to hear from one of our fantastic sponsors here. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about what happens when we lose trust in companies or products or software or hardware. And
all the above.
can that ever come back? Maybe. The AV Super Friends are sponsored by Computer Comforts Incorporated. CCI has been building tech furniture for the education market since 1987. Instructor lecterns, computer lab tables, collaborative tables, and active learning clusters are just a few of the many innovative products made by CCI. Speaking of lecterns, Computer Comforts has just released Evolve. If you're looking to future-proof your classroom, Evolve is the Swiss Army knife of lecterns. Seriously, this flexible lectern does it all. Not only is Evolve sit-to-stand and ADA compliant, it's also packed with tech-friendly features. And the best part, it ships fully assembled and ready for action. Check out the 90-second video to see all the options. Visit computercomforts.com/evolve. Alrighty, so we've all experienced this in not necessarily recent years, but over the course of our careers. Some manufacturer makes hardware, which we love, something they come out with a new line or they shift focus and it goes wrong. You have existing software, which is fine. There's a new version that it updates to and it breaks a whole bunch of stuff. And so you start looking at alternatives. When these sorts of scenarios happen, our first reaction obviously is panic, but then we start looking at what else might fit that same need, but not be from the same manufacturer, the same software company, whatever it is, because you're pissed at them, or as I like to say,
you're pissed at
designing
them,
these things.
Yeah.
I'm designing these things based on spite,
yes,
because they bother me. And then the question comes up, like, well, do you go back and look at what they're doing 3 or 4 years later? Can that relationship ever be rebuilt, or is that bridge burned forever?
Seemingly,
go.
Yes. No, I think it's a really interesting conversation because people pivoted a lot over the last few years into different pieces and parts of their kits. And then you have all this new capabilities coming out. And there's some new upstart companies too. And so we started kicking this around. It's like, well, like how do you try something new on a bench or put it into production for a company that maybe you want to, but you're like, well, I already have this thing. I'm committed to here. Like, how do you build trust in the tools that you have at a point where you're willing to scale them? And then how fast can that trust be burned to when you're willing to walk away and never use them again? And so, Chris, I think you had some examples we talked about the other day, right?
I have many examples.
And so I think it obviously takes longer to continue to build that trust, but is there like one thing that you say, yeah, I'm just walking away, I'm done? And Chris, I think is availability for you was a big driver at one point in time?
Availability and openly lying to customers, I think, is a good way to phrase that. But yes, I mean that is a challenge. It's also an opportunity to look at alternate products or alternate software solutions or whatever you may need.
So I think there's that natural requirement to be compatible with our systems and our support and all that stuff. But I think at the raw spec sheet level, many things are going to claim to be that. Mm-hmm. But it takes us putting it through its paces and doing those things to try that. But even if we want to, and we're like, this seems to meet all that criteria, we're already pot committed to something else. Right. And so how does somebody get a foot in the door or seem to have gained that trust? Like, how do you start? Like, where do you begin? Is it a pilot or is it try that? Like Chris, you've gone in multiple different directions. You've had a myriad of different solutions that you've deployed. So I think you have some concept around willingness to try where things kind of meet that requirement, but also what happens if it goes wrong?
Well, part of it was in my particular case, I'll speak from a hardware perspective. We were through and through, as people would say, we're a Crestron house, which immediately means you don't know much about AV. So we were through and through you can all be surprised at that. I'm just saying. We were through and through. That was the solution.
Shady,
but
okay.
When said organization decided to stop shipping things and take a vacation for a couple of years because a plant burned down, or did it, or whatever shenanigans happened in 2022, you had two options. One, sit there doing nothing and hope you all didn't get fired. Or two, continue, as Larry's demonstrating, seeing if you can sprain your thumbs by twiddling them as fast as you could.
I chose to sit on mine.
And spin. Yeah. Your other option was to pivot and keep moving. And if you build systems intentionally, and I say this in the best way possible, people don't notice because you're able to continue delivering the exact same or better experience with added features, with streamlined operations, with better support, with more robust systems, and nobody noticed that I did that across an entire campus. So, and that's in my particular case. Now, to the second part of that question, would I ever look at Crestron for solutions? Sure, I'll go back and see what they're coming up with, but I'm not buying that stuff. I mean, I'm going to give this one a huge amount of lead time before I ever look at that stuff again. But let me remind you,
because your current solution is, you deem it as better, or is it just is it spitefully designed because they did something one time and that was all it took, and you're not going back to them? If they today had something that was equally as good capability wise as what you're doing at a comparable price, exactly the same, and maybe even slightly less, or cheaper, would they be a potential solution?
No, and here's why. Because what we found in migrating from one system to another, one ecosystem to another, the rest of my staff much prefers the new system. It's easier to work with. It's easier to configure. The programming's better. As one of the team who used to work for me, and I still remember the way he phrased this, he says, "This scratches an itch I didn't realize I had," because he really loved working with this stuff, and it was easy for him, and it made sense, and it just clicked for him. So no, there's no reason to look away from that. But to your point, I'm not going to ever make the mistake of locking myself into a single manufacturer for an ecosystem. I may use one as a primary control in some cases, but to your earlier comment, this opens the door to a lot of other, maybe smaller manufacturers. And say we're talking specifically about hardware, but also software as well. Looking at alternate platforms out there, because I can mix and match a bunch of these things together to deliver the appropriate experience, which is what's important, because people don't care what the brand is or what the silkscreen is on some device. I want to make sure we deliver the appropriate experience, regardless of where that's coming from. So it's something scalable and supportable, but from the technology side, but from the people in the room using it or the people online using that stuff, it just frickin' works for them. So that's been kind of our mantra. We've done quite well with that.
I think it's funny that Chris's example is going in that direction, because my example is actually going to Crestron at a different university. It was years and years ago, back when I was a design engineer at an integrator, and one of my clients was a university that had primarily Extron switchers and the Extron button panels. And so when Extron came out with their control system touch panels, where they were trying to compete with AMX and Crestron at the time, they must have went to a showroom or something, and they were all in. And so I designed their summer projects around that. And I had my programmer at the time learn it and do it. And they had zero logic in their control system. It was completely faked. And to do the simplest thing, you were tricking the system by making multiple pages. And it was just so cumbersome that, like, once I got hired by that university, one of the first things I did was switch everything over to Crestron. I was like, no, you can't pretend to have a control system if you're not going to have actual logic and be able to do what a control system has to do.
But Larry, most importantly, did you switch to Crestron, or did you switch to a better, more robust ecosystem?
I switched to a better, more robust ecosystem that just happened to be Crestron.
Yeah.
And I come to work here. This is primarily an Extron shop. I get re-exposed to their control system. I realize how much better it is now than it was. And I'm back on board again.
Well, I think they're all on this constant cycle, right? They're all either leapfrogging one another, and as they fall behind, they move, and it's cyclical. It's going to keep happening with all technologies. And I think is it that they're failing, or they're just falling behind until the next cycle or their next rev or whatever it may be? Because I think all of them, this specific segment we're talking about being the manufacturers, the control manufacturers, they're all doing exciting things. Right. I think they all have their own little niche thing or market they're looking at, but it's hard for some of these other ones to kind of come up and even do anything against that. So are we in this world where we have these 3 or 4 big guys, and there's going to be no room for the middle ground because our trust is there, or is it going to be just they're only going to get little pieces of that?
Let me remind you from let's take a step back to 15, 20 years ago. Hey, remember AMX?
Who?
Yeah, next. So companies can make very bad business decisions and very bad product decisions, and then act surprised, and all of a sudden their market share disappears. But I mean, even from the standpoint of the rest of them, I mean, Extron came out with was it XTP that launch took 3 years for it to actually get off the ground. And but at the same time, they maintain their other product lines. They develop new ones, sort of thing. I mean, I have gripes with Extron coming out with what's the GVE, and that thing has just basically been dead in the water for a couple of years. There's all these new, to your point, Mark, all these new things coming out, cloud-based, whatever, and they've got, it's not there. So where is that thing? You've got Crestron trying to shoehorn their Mercury systems into everything where they didn't belong, and they did that for years. And they, of course, then they had their integrators go and do that for people, and then you've got all these tchotchke town systems to try to make work. Crestron had such a successful line of DSPs that they canceled it. Maybe they have other ones coming out now. I don't know, but
no, they were not successful.
That was sarcasm, man. Come on.
Okay.
They had
make sure everyone understood that.
Yes, they had Raul's favorite product line, the capture decks that were so awesome. We had to go over and reboot them routinely. The forcing everyone like Apple style disabling product features and kind of end of lifing stuff early to force everyone to new ones that are all cloud connected that force you to do that, because the stuff that you got from 20 years ago, which is still running fine, is not a good business model sort of thing.
We'll update that firmware. We'll take care of that.
Yeah. I mean, you got in the other companies, you got Biamp coming out and doing like anything but audio, and yet they're at heart an audio company. It's like, hey, stick to what you know. You guys do great audio systems, and now you've come out with it. All these other things. Just do cool audio stuff, which is just weird. You've got Clear One just self-destructing and deciding to piss off an entire industry. Good luck with that one.
They own shapes.
And you got QSYS out there doing God knows what. So we'll see where so they all do these things as far as cycles of either coming out with new products that don't work, or they force new directions or whatever. And depending on how they position that, it burns bridges with customers, and it raises that question of like, do you ever look at that company ever again? Justin, yes, you have a question.
Who are you happy with as a manufacturer, Chris?
Panja.
I love Panja, yes.
I'm just curious.
They've all made mistakes, is my point. I'm not going to be a fanboy for anyone.
We went down the whole list.
I know.
There was nobody left.
That's my gripe about people say we're a such and such house. That pisses me off, because it generally means you are myopic and you're focused on this, and you're missing all this other stuff out there.
I think the answer to the question at hand here is to the question of what happens when a manufacturer you lose trust in that manufacturer. Is the answer is it depends, and it depends on how the manufacturer addresses the situation. Do they own up to it, or do they just pretend and just carry on like nothing's happened? I come at this from much more of a software or cloud service perspective, and I've seen both sides of that equation. During the pandemic, we had numerous situations where whether it was a manufacturer or some kind of cloud service struggled for numerous different reasons. And I could, in one specific case, one of these cloud services very much fell on their face, but we got the president of the company owning up to the situation and saying, look, we recognize what happened. These are the things we are going to do moving forward. This is how we're going to address it. If your leadership wants to talk to me directly, here is my email, here is my phone number. We'll have conversations. I have peers who decided that this wasn't good enough and moved to other products that I honestly don't feel are comparable, but they have chosen to move to an inferior product, and today I feel they're probably looking to move back away from that inferior product. You have a lot of technical debt, and it takes a lot to make that decision. Once that manufacturer or service gets its foot in the door, getting them to switching over to somebody else is going to
a huge lift.
Be a very hard decision.
I'm with Raul here. I think one thing that I was thinking about, all the triggers that force me to kind of, side table a manufacturer, if you will. I don't really, give up on them for life. I always have that door cracked just in case, they want to come back and talk. But if you tell me, oh yeah, we know that's all jacked up, but hey, fire new
we got
shit.
this new thing.
Like, no,
right? Yeah.
No, that is not the answer, dude. We are not buying the new thing because this other thing is in warranty. It's not doing what you said. So we can't, you fix this. Like, then give us the new thing for free because, or whatever the case is.
I think some of this tolerance is also based upon what this solution is. We focus on a lot of the core equipment,
different risk levels here
and such. And that's when you start thinking about replacing, that level of control, that level of DSP, that level of whatever, your tolerance for some mistakes is a little bit higher, right? Look, it's no secret that like QSYS's entitlements, licensing, whatever you want to call it, right? Screamed at them for years about get rid of some of this. This is dumb. They did, but my tolerance for that was a little bit higher to purchase their equipment. Back in the day, we stuck with AMX for a very long time, even though their support model was trash and their equipment really wasn't getting much better. And we did finally make some moves. You know, but now the question comes up of, do you ever give them a second chance? I have moved away from Crestron for the most part because I didn't like the ecosystem. Mm-hmm. I didn't like this being forced into everything has to be badged the same or you can't use it anywhere else. One of the reasons when Chris and I worked together, right, we chose the Extron products for our classrooms because even if the control system was terrible, you just plug in a different control system and all the other stuff worked. Like this device could still be functional at any given time. That was a big driving decision where when you went with Crestron, that wasn't the case at the time.
Yeah.
In my conversations with you guys, as we moved into AV over IP in my institution, NVX came up a lot. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then, as it found out that, hey, you can use this outside of their bubble. Yeah. So I think some of that's there. I think the ones that are really interesting is the smaller companies.
Yeah.
I think, back when Atlona was mostly just rebranded China specials, this was a long time ago.
Remember last time you had these conversations, you
got
a talking to.
And it was not great, right? I hated it. It always broke down. I kept buying them because they were affordable. Mm-hmm. And then
Shame on you, sir.
I bought their OmniStream product. The thing worked. And I was like, okay, I'll give them another chance, right? Let's go back to that. What makes you decision? What leads you to give them a second chance? What lets them get some reputation back?
Sounds like you just keep buying their shit and then find something that works. You're like,
a broken clock is right two times a day.
Exactly.
But it was something that they developed that was outside their norm, right? It was outside of the rebranded special black box OEM box. And it worked. And you wanted to say, okay, this company is spending time to develop a resource that'll make it better. And, I did give them another shot. Mm-hmm. Now they've been bought out, so it's not going to matter anyway. But those are the things. I think your tolerance level, whether or not to write off a company, for instance, I still buy a lot of NDI, but I can tell you about 3/4 of you won't touch it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it a bad protocol that makes things a failure, or is it?
It can device, be, yeah. Right? And so, I don't like buying NDI stuff.
Well, it could also be a bad version 1.0 of something that looks great on paper. And you try it out and you find there's all sorts of issues with it, and then you're done with that org or whatever, for a number of years.
There's a piece of this that's interesting to me is that are there some features or innovative pieces, parts, ideas that are too risky to trust with the things you actually trust? Is innovation, does it have a place where maybe it needs to be with something that can burn and flame at a risk of not damaging the rest of your stuff and reputation?
Yeah, one example, I think we talked about this before, is that Nareva bar. And that's risky because they proclaim it could do X and Y and do all this stuff. And I'm like, well, if it can do that, it actually would save me money. Mm-hmm. So kind of going to your point, Mark, is, well, how do I try it? Well, I'm not going to buy one and put it in my test room. So brilliant on Nareva's part, they sent me one for free.
Yeah.
They'll just ship you one per university, sign up. And if it works, I'll probably put it in a few other places because it made sense. If it doesn't work, well, we tried it.
Right. And I think a lot of universities get those try and do things. But sometimes it needs to be a part of another ecosystem. And it's like, I can't really fully test this because I don't have the situation to actually do it in. And so
we're going to put it in a live room. A little risky.
Hey, right?
Like a very live room, like all concrete and glass, or are you going to put
I'm thinking about using it for a project to save the client some money. And a little risky.
Go for it. I'm all in.
You and Jamie can do this whole.
Oh, buddy.
It's called testing and production.
Testing and production.
Yeah,
that's what I'm about to do.
But there's no testing. I'm production.
It's just production.
Now the production fails or it succeeds. No testing.
Well, my fault tolerance on this is a little laxing, so that's why I'm doing it.
It's just a hole in the wall, no problem.
So do you
pull it off, put on something else?
So I'm curious of like a little bit of what Raul, what you mentioned, and a little bit of Chris, is that when we've identified a system, a product, or whatever it may be, a platform, and we're on the outs here, right? Is it do your best to communicate what we're experiencing with those manufacturers, those organizations, or is it just button up shop, move, and see you later? Like what?
No, you have to communicate.
Yeah.
Because what if it's something you're doing wrong?
Right.
Which has been the case in my personal experience a lot of times. Like,
happens.
it's not always something I'm doing wrong. It's something I didn't see in the spec before I ordered the new box that they had.
Or assume something.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
I'm always going to assume that something's my fault. So if I'm testing a product and I was and the salesperson,
Yeah.
if the salesperson said, I'm like, okay, remember the sales guy or salesperson, whoever said this. So I'm going to call
Sales
support
individual.
up and go, hey, I'm setting this thing up and it's not doing this thing that I was sold on. And support's like, yeah, who told you that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
not
was
right.
never supposed to do that.
That would be alarming.
Okay.
Versus, oh, well, let's walk you through on what's going on. Oh, you didn't check this checkbox.
Oh, it needs to connect to the cloud before it can do that.
Or my favorite, we didn't think anybody'd actually try that.
Yeah.
Well, you put the port on there. What did you think I was going to do with it?
Well,
Right.
It's interesting because as of late, I think we have products that we're testing, and I think not to use the buzzword, but I'm going to throw it in there, but like these things that have these AI bolted on features. And what we're seeing is, and I think we're seeing a lot of manufacturers and organizations, they're probably out over their skis on a lot of things, whether it be the networking component or the cloud piece, and all of these products come in.
Or security.
And security specifically is one of those pieces to look through in the lensing. And
Because that's one where they're not even out over their skis. They're down at the bottom of the mountain and not even wearing the skis.
And so we're looking for this innovative approach, and they're all like, yes, we can do it, we can do it, we can do it. But then when that rubber meets the road, and you say, well, how do we go about do this? And the things I don't like hearing is, oh, well, just tell us what you want, and we'll take care of that for you. Or, oh, let me call Chuck, who's in his basement working and hacking away at this. And I'm like, wait, you're supposed to be an enterprise-ready company, and you have like this little tiger team of people that are trying to bring this innovation forward. And that gives me all kinds of concern and queasiness. And I think we're probably going to see more of that as companies try to push this new bounds of what is possible and bring innovation. I think the risk level that all of them are going to take on is going to be extremely elevated to try to bring us these new innovative products, whatever it is. I don't think it's going to be any of that stuff we saw at CES, but when we're talking about more whole innovation within the system itself, is that are we going to become more risk tolerant and allow them to develop these things with us? Or do we want full finished things before we're going to get involved with this?
I mean, if we want things to be affordable, you're going to have to fire Chuck's team and allow Chuck to answer all the questions.
Why are you just picking on Chuck?
So if people don't have the people to support you, the more people, it costs money. So, higher costs on products. So that's a balance.
But would that make you
You
nervous?
can go with that.
Go ahead, Larry.
Right. It is what it is.
Okay.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, that's something to be watchful for, because you have a lot of these monitoring companies coming up, and they're probably teams of 5-10 people, maybe, or less, who knows? And there are 2 or 3 programmers doing all the work. Is that alarming or not?
Don't know. But I think it's a different world now, as we have these more agile folks that are kind of supporting these innovative approaches. But it looks different than the old True Blue support and whatever all the thing is. It's not that level of support, because innovation is not service catalog yet, right? We're not there. These are like, you're on that bleeding edge, and we want to use these things. And are we ourselves taking on that risk and trying to do this, or do you sit back and wait until it's a finished product?
Yes. In production classrooms, I'm all about innovation, but reliability comes first.
I think there's a balance. You could do both.
Yeah, I let you all test and then I implement.
There's some truth to that. I mean, I get it. That's a higher education thing. Nobody, there's a
Larry
lot of
just
conservative
asked a question to
approaches.
see if Jamie will go install one. Hey, has anyone ever used
Jamie,
this
have you
thing?
used that NDI to go between campuses?
But that's
Yes.
you fire it up.
Jamie's like, yeah, it worked
Fire it up.
perfect.
Put it on the
And we
network.
plug it
Works
in, it's
fine.
like, doesn't work.
Yeah,
Works fine.
yeah, it'll work. It'll work fine.
Doesn't work.
As long as you reboot it every night.
Yeah.
Works fine. You don't need to do that either.
You didn't say how to make it work.
You're
You
just a
said
bunch
if
of
it
dolts.
works. And so yes, it works. You just got to do all these things.
That's what
5 minutes.
That's what NDI stands for, is needs daily intervention.
Right. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, so is it possible to regain trust? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not closing the door on anybody, but when
Sounds like you
Are
have.
you?
You can't close doors that are already closed, guys. There's no way around this.
Door was
Nailed
slammed
it shut, so there is no.
If some of these companies that I'm not buying stuff from any longer came out with something that was of interest and met a need, sure, I'd look at it.
Okay.
But they haven't.
You said you look at it.
Doesn't mean
It's like pulling up a web page. Yeah,
It's like half of Infocom is just.
If you had to give
Larry, there are booths at Infocom I walk right the hell past.
He stands in the middle and looks around like,
Scowling.
F you. You're interesting. F you.
So if there's one or two traits to rebuild trust, kind of quickly here before we close this segment out, for maybe it's the small companies, maybe it's the big companies, what is it that you want to see when rebuilding that?
Be honest and transparent. Everybody makes mistakes. It's how you recover from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just be honest about what's going on.
But I think that a lot of times, like, my trust is built because it didn't work for me. So it doesn't really matter what you think, right? Or what the manufacturer probably doesn't even know that they screwed up in my world, right? So, like, for me, it's really kind of like people like you chuckleheads. It's like, well, maybe you should look at this thing. It is doing these things better. It is getting better at that. And I might be swayed back into it. But I know personally, for me, they don't even know they wrong. Now, they know they wronged me because I'm usually pretty vocal with whatever rep there is. But it's a personal. It's that personal wrong. It's not a global wronged.
And I think to go along with the personal part of it, like part of what has helped me rebuild trust with certain manufacturers is the sales rep that works there.
The person who's the contact, yes.
Yeah.
That's the opposite for me.
No, like if I have a really good relationship, like when I moved here and Mark at Extron started like swinging by, he developed that where I knew if I had any issues, I could reach out to him. He would resolve it. He would be in constant communication and we get it figured out.
There's something there that might be worth a thread. For all you reps that if you are listening, as you're driving to your next, wherever it may be, we're looking for you to help us solve problems, not sell us things. Okay? We know your product catalog. We know what we can buy. And so
we probably know your product catalog better than you do.
And to touch on what Larry said, like that relationship, we're there and counting on you to help us move forward and solve and create and be innovative and provide service, not give you an updated report on how many SKUs we're expecting to need in the next quarter.
Oh, yeah. Or what can we do to be your button panel of tomorrow? Nothing. I've already bought 400 of the other ones.
So, I think small manufacturers, I'm intrigued by a lot of the smaller stuff we see, and I think it is going to fit next little segment with Rel. The upstarts, I want to see some of these new ideas kind of come to the table, and I think we all have to be willing to try some new things and probably burn ourselves and cut our fingers as we're on that bleeding edge to see what is possible. If not, we kind of risk just becoming stagnant. And so,
I'll try it after.
And to that stagnant, I mean, be brave enough to look outside your comfort zone. Had I not moved from one ecosystem to another, I would not be using this fantastic line of Liberty extenders, which are great and do awesome stuff for literally $100 more than what I was used to paying for the other thing. Added so many features, capabilities, all these things that, like, I wouldn't even know about that because it wouldn't have hit my radar. So absolutely look at some of these other manufacturers out there because that's where the real innovation is happening, not from the giant four people, my opinion.
Okay.
Why haven't you shared these extenders with us?
Oh,
we've talked about them a number of times.
We keep it all from you guys until we're thoroughly testing it.
Larry, it was on our frickin' tour at Infocom last year.
I'm always running ahead of the...
That was Friday. He wasn't there.
It was Friday. He skipped. Free plug. It's the Huck 42 series, HUC 42. I can't remember the full product line. I just call it the Huck 42. It's got some specific port arrangements on what's on each end of their little kit, but it does a lot of very, very cool stuff. Yeah. So
check them out. There are other things out there, but I think be willing to always listen with an open mind on whatever the manufacturer.
And to your point about, or to your comment about the actual representatives, the people. I mean, we see the people. They change shirts. They go from one company to the next or whatever. I have some very good reps with some companies. I have terrible reps at others. I have some who are so good. When I moved out of their territory, I wouldn't let them not be my rep anymore. So now I have 2 reps with the company because they're aggravated at me because of that. But
just collecting them now.
Yes, it's great. So I've got multiple people I can reach out
really
to.
Talk to reps a whole lot.
You find a good one, and it's
you're
worth
missing
every
out.
penny.
Why?
Yeah.
For what?
Raul, I want to come to you on this one as we close out this piece of it, because you work and are in deep with some software groups and cloud folks. And I think we've seen peaks and troughs and all that stuff. And I think you're actively trying to make a product better, seemingly, almost weekly. And so I think that's worth some value. And that relationship is where I think those manufacturers are counting on us to bring that to them. Right. And I think that much of the work I see you doing in relaying, like, hey, we have issues with this, and your tenacity to kind of push that along goes a long way.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned earlier the don't come to me with your product catalog. That's actually a phrase that was rattling around in my head just yesterday. It's not what we want from the manufacturers. It's not what we want from the service vendors. We know the product. We know the product very well. I don't know if it's a unique thing here at Oregon State University, but we're very good at using the product in many different ways that oftentimes the manufacturer has not envisioned. And then we break it, and then we tell them what we broke, and then hopefully the manufacturer, the developer, fixes it. If they fix it, then they are a good manufacturer, good bullet. They're a good vendor. They're a good software developer, and then we can move on to the next feature that we break, and it's a cycle. And these are people that we can work with. If instead they show off all these bells and whistles, and then we buy the product, and it turns out that these bells and whistles are actually vaporware, aspirational, and it does something like that, but not exactly that. Well, that's very disappointing, and that's maybe a company that we'll come back to maybe in a couple of years when we feel that their vaporware is no longer vaporware. It's all about having that kind of dialogue with the developer, the manufacturer, the vendor, so that we build this relationship together and build each other up so that we can tell our friends, this is a good product. It works. Oh, stay away from that product. I'm not entirely sure it does what it says on the box.
So I love it. I think it's
Raul, you raised a good point there at the end. We get a lot of probably our most valuable feedback from our peers, from people at other institutions, at other companies, people we trust, people we've built trust in. Hey, I did this the other day on our internal chat. Has anyone used this particular device? This was the Sennheiser, whatever, Team Connect bars. Has anyone used this specific feature on it? And was talking about the Dante and how that works. And Jamie said, a while ago, I used the Dante and I had these challenges and it did this and this and I couldn't do this and this was kind of a challenge. However, I've got one on campus that was from 2.5 years ago, very early on. And so it's running like 1.0 firmware, which means there's all these new things that have been added to it that I need to go check and see, does that bring value to what I need to do? Because one of my peers said he had a medium experience with it, but it showed potential. Like, all right, I'll go look at that, because if so, then that particular device now meets a need. And I already have one, so the cost to me is nothing, but it's like, I'm doing that not on what the manufacturer said, not even on what the sales rep said, but on what my peers said. And so I'm going to go look at that again, because otherwise it would just live there as a conference bar for the next 10 years and just kind of sit there silently and never do anything. So, and Mark left. No, he's back.
No, he's back.
Just joking.
Yeah, we joke about, like, maybe we should be getting commissions from the number of products we have sold. We know what a good product is out there. We tell people when we have found a good product. So by all means, and it's mutually beneficial, because the more people that use that product, the more of us who are pushing those buttons and finding maybe the thing that doesn't work and then communicating it to the manufacturer so that they make it work. And the better it gets, the bigger the community, the more that we can talk to each other and make the product better.
awesome. All right. Well,
Mark, did that answer all your questions? This was your topic.
I don't know if the goal was never
to
to answer the questions. The goal is just to talk about them and get some perspectives. And so I heard relationships can be mended. It can become better again.
Oh, yeah.
Trust can be rebuilt. But boy, can it be destroyed pretty quick.
Yeah, I can't.
Does that sound accurate? And all doors are closed at some universities. Open them up.
By the way, Mark, while we're talking, I did file for a patent and the shape of those acoustic panels.
Oh, I'm gonna get sued?
You owe me millions of dollars now.
Nice.
Damn it. Okay. Beat me to it.
Yeah, and also just one more wrap up to go look at those smaller companies. Look at the Liberties, the Lumens, the Innogeny, Aver. There's some cool stuff out there that you're missing because people are so laser focused on that one company that they deal with. So
just seeing those
expand your horizons.
Perspectives also bring like, hey, that would be cool. And you can start seeing the different opportunities that exist and different options as it comes forward. And so it's an arms race out there. They're all trying to do it. And so it's a matter of keeping your eyes open.
And one thing that Raul mentioned there is companies, when you bring up feedback, people like, hey, I have challenge with this, or this doesn't do what I want, or whatever. And you have some companies who are like, yeah, whatever. But others who actively work towards addressing those, and I want to call out in particular NEAT, who has very cool products, but don't work reliably on my particular enterprise network. But they take that feedback for what it is, and in future revs of their software, they are addressing kind of how those devices connect to each other. So it is no longer a concern, but they're adding more features and doing things. So it's something, a device, the physical hardware has been there for years, but they're adding more stuff based on customer feedback, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah.
Which I found amazing that it works on my network, but not yours. Nothing works on my network.
Yeah, that is super weird.
Awesome.
I was able to make it work on the network, but I had to jump through hoops to get there, and that bothers me. So anyway.
For NEAT?
He just used his administrative secured login for everything. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's what's that philosophical thought that it takes like five kind actions to make up for one bad, one mean action or something like that?
Sound like
Is that it takes a 200 muscles to smile and one to frown or something like that.
60 days to build a habit. Is that what we're talking about?
So it's very much like when they screw up, we remember that very much. But when they do something that's good, it's like.
Or when they address that screw up, that can be even more valuable. So
congratulations, you did your job. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we got this one.
Right,
we got there.
Let's take a quick break. We're going to come back, and Raul's going to tell us all about Northwest Met and why we need to be there.
All right.
As many of you know, the Super Friends have always been better received when we have more input from you. So, here's your chance. Send us a note at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com and get involved with the show. We're looking for some topics to discuss, some fellow nerds to talk to, or just general AV awesomeness to brag about. But remember, we'll probably steal your ideas. And I suppose we'd take some criticism, but that wouldn't be very nice. Anyway, drop us a note at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com and find out how quickly we ask you to join this nonsense.
All right, Raul, so you've been very kind to everybody who's currently watching this stream, has been given a free all-expense paid trip to Northwest Met this year.
Wait, what?
Was that?
We weren't supposed to read that.
My mistake.
Yeah. It was only if we had X amount of subscribers. We did not hit the threshold.
Unfortunately, all the airline tickets are going to Billings, Montana. So administrative.
Anyway, there, yep.
So Raul is the president of the Northwest Managers of Educational Technology, NWMET.org, and I think all of us, except Justin, who just left, would say it is our favorite conference. We love going to the look at him down there. Hi, Justin. It's the community is fantastic. The relationship with vendors and it's just a great place to be. It'll get there, Justin. Give it a minute. Talk about technology. So Justin is experiencing his auto-tracking, not auto-tracking properly. It's getting there. There you are. All right, he's back. So we love the conference. We love everything about it. We're big supporters of getting there every year. And we hear this from, and to your credit, I think largely to your credit, Raul, we hear this from a lot of other people. I hear people talking about this conference. I'm here. This is fantastic. I love this conference. I never thought this was something to be. And we're getting people from all over the country now. It's not just like those same 8 schools in the Northwest. So people from Florida and North Carolina and, New York and coming out and saying that this is a great conference. So Raul, with all that said,
the floor is yours.
Why do we need to go?
All right. Well, where do I even begin? I guess I have to put on my Northwest Met hat. I am currently the president of Northwest Met, and we are taking our conference to Salt Lake City this year. being co-hosted by our friends at the University of Utah and Salt Lake Community College. We're working with Adam Stewart down at the University of Utah, who's doing a fantastic job of helping us organize the conference. And NWMET is a higher ed, AV, and IT conference. I'm going to be the first one to say that AV is IT, and I know that is a naughty phrase to say. I'll be the first one to tell you this. I don't know how many people agree with that, but when you go to these conferences, yeah, there you go. Justin's got his hand up. We all agree. It's all ones and zeros in the end. So whether it's video or audio or data, it's AV is IT, and we have an annual conference that has been going on since the late 70s. So almost as old as me. I am probably older than all of you. Maybe not all of you combined, but I am definitely old.
Maybe though. Who knows?
I was not there. I was 7 years old at the first conference. Ooh. So I was not there at the first conference, but we have been doing this now for nearly 50 years. And we have grown to be a national conference. I would argue an international conference. This is very themed on higher education. We bring together a lot of exhibitors and a lot of attendees from schools in higher education from across the nation. And this year we are having five days of conference with all your usual sessions and trainings and exhibitor showcase. We are bringing back the workshops, which was something we did at the conference a couple of years ago, which was very successful. We have workshops this year from QSys, Crestron, Atlona, Dante, Netgear, Biam, so all the companies Chris hates.
I didn't say it. First of all, Dante's not a company. It's Odd Nate, and I think they're fantastic. So
that is a company. They're a company. They do things.
A basket of
Dante? Dante's a platform protocol.
We have managed to keep our registration costs very affordable. For $500, you come into this conference and you can participate in those training workshops. You can participate in the sessions. You can participate in all the fun events we have. I think people do have a lot of fun at NWMET. I'd like to say that you get almost more in the conversations that happen in the hallways than you do in the sessions. You make those connections, and then when you get back home and you're thinking, oh, what was that thing we were talking about? You can email one of these people you met at the conference, and they'll be able to tell you what they did at their school. And soon we're all doing the same thing. It's a great conference, which is why I agreed to become president of the NWMET organization. And I can tell you, this is breaking news for all of you, that this year we are co-hosting with our friends at NWElearn, who focus on pedagogy and IT in education. They have agreed to become our partners for this conference. So they're going to come on board, and we're going to have a themed track on e-learning, so distance learning pedagogy. It's very exciting. I'm thrilled to have them. Speaking to a lot of the vendors, they come to our campus. They come here and they tell us about their products. And what I hear from them is that, they're on the road a lot, essentially repeating themselves all the time, oftentimes meeting the same people at different conferences. So I've been reaching out to peer organizations and telling them, look, we know we're going into a very difficult situation for higher education right now. A lot of schools are cutting back on travel, and we're having to make tough decisions about, like, am I going to go to this conference? Am I going to go to that conference? And in the end, what happens is that whichever conference you choose, you're probably going to find the same exhibitors there. Oftentimes, you're going to see the same faces. So why don't we come together and just everybody come together in a single conference? Everybody has to do less traveling. It costs us less money. The exhibitors seem to like it because they only have to go to one place and they get to see all the people. So I've been making that pitch to a few different organizations, and it seems to be a pretty well received pitch. So we're bringing together a lot of different disparate groups who all have the same goals, the same ideas, and we're bringing them all together to the NWMET conference this May 18th through the 22nd in Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see as many people as possible there. I'm looking forward to seeing you all. We are doing travel grants. We know, again, it's really hard for a lot of folks to convince their leadership to send them to a conference. So we're telling folks, look, I know you want to come. Maybe your leadership can't pay for you to go. So we are doing travel grants. We have a limited number of travel grants. We can't give everybody a travel grant, but if you get approved, we are paying for your hotel. We're paying for your travel. You're getting admission to the conference. That means literally people are taking time off from work, taking vacation time, just so they can come to the NWMET conference. So that's really validating. And honestly, at some point, I need to get over this imposter syndrome and realize that, I guess people really want to come to it.
It's real, Raul. It's been like 50 years. It's been, it's a thing.
It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of learning that goes on. I think the workshops are great. Some of them are multi-day workshops, so 2 days of workshopping. You get accreditation if you need to renew your CTSRUs, or you want to get that Dante certificate. You can come to the NWMET conference. You're going to get it all. It's all part of one single registration. You don't have to pay extra for like pre-conference workshops or anything like that.
Love it. It's. I've been to a few now in my tenure, and they're all unique, but they're all amazing. And it's good to see the host schools. You get to see kind of how they're doing things behind the scenes. You get some really good in-depth, just varying experience, right? And you get to hear the common challenges, the solutions, and maybe not with all the noise that comes along with casinos and theme parks that some of them may be. But just the level of conversation and the what you can get out of it it's just a different experience. It's much more unique. It's more embedded. It's more authentic, right? And I think always well attended. People always have a good time. And as Joe in here must attend, right? Joe says it's got to be there. You got to be there.
Yeah, friend of the show, Joe Way, chimes in and says, Northwest Met's a must-attend conference. Great mix of education sessions, social events, and vendor exhibits. Show me that Met money. Raul, you didn't even talk about Met money.
Oh, you tell me.
Is
it still like under wraps?
And
this
Joe,
year's
thanks
new.
for the kind words there. Appreciate that.
This year's new. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Are we doing Met credit cards?
There's no Met money?
Met crypto.
Yep.
Met crypto.
Met loans.
Met loans.
Can I
love
get a
it.
loan?
Met payday
Mark,
loans.
You've been talking into Met crypto forever. It's not going to be Met crypto,
Close.
but we are putting the finishing touches on what I hope is going to be a successful NWMET app, where all the transactions will happen in the app. And so
you don't need your briefcase full of money running around anymore.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to like.
You will recognize the challenges we had with the piles and piles of physical Met money that we had, and
I have some great photos because of that.
Yep. So we're going to do this all digitally in an app. Met money is essentially a little bit of a rewards system, wherein if you go and talk to the exhibitors and get your badge scanned, you get a little bit of a token of their appreciation, and at the end of the conference you can use the accumulated Met money you have to bid on auction items and buy yourself some prizes in a type of silent auction fashion. So the more exhibitors you talk to,
it's not ever silent.
That becomes Lord of the Flies. You know that. It's all people pooling
That's
their
the
funds
loudest
together.
silent
and it gets
auction I've ever
wild.
seen.
Yeah.
and there'll be mechanisms in the app where in fact you can actually hand your money over to your friends if you don't have enough. We've been testing this app for a number of months. We're almost there. I'm pretty certain we're going to be able to deliver this app to everybody, iOS and Android, for everyone. It's going to be a lot of fun. People love the Met money, so we're definitely going to be doing it again. We put a lot of work into the planning of a conference. It takes like 18 months to plan a conference. And I put a lot of thought into the feedback that we get. At the end of every conference, there's a survey. People give us feedback. I love to hear the good feedback. It's very important that I hear the negative feedback. What we hear from the exhibitors is weirdly of two different thoughts. Some folks say, if we're going to pay this much money to be an exhibitor, it's got to be 2 days. Other folks say, well, we're pretty much done meeting everybody in 1 day. So what we've done for 2026 is we're having a 1.5 days of exhibitor time. So
They'll
we
never
split it
see
down
that
the
coming.
middle. Yeah. We want to be sure that the exhibitors get their FaceTime with the attendees. The exhibitors also get to do presentations. So if they want to talk about their new products, you can go into one of the session rooms and see a presentation. And everybody is equal there. The exhibitors get to join us in the parties and have a good time with us at lunch and dinner as well. So we're already looking at 2027. Like I said, it's 18 months out. We've got to be looking at the next conference. All I can tell you is you probably want to find your swimsuit for 2027.
Really?
Come into your bathroom, Chris.
I was going to say, we don't have, Wyoming doesn't have running water. So.
Awesome.
Polar bear.
There you go. If people were interested in checking out this Northwest Met thing, well, where would you send them to?
It's all on the NWMET website, nwmet.org. You will find all the information there for the conference on how to register, what happens at the conference, where the hotels are, how to get to the conference. Yes, we have special rates at hotels. We have information on traveling. And we will be releasing the program information, I believe, in February. We are still taking applications for travel grants. Like I said, we are, at this point, an international conference. We have some applications for travel grants from some very, very far away countries. I don't know. Again, we're not going to be able to accommodate everybody's applications for travel grants, but the good thing about the NWMET conference is that the more exhibitors we have, the more money we have to apply towards a travel grant. Right. So we always sell out of exhibitor spaces. If any vendors or manufacturers are listening to this podcast, you want to be getting in sooner rather than later. Come to nwmet.org and check out the exhibitor information so that you can register, because we are selling out of some tables already. We have twice as many tables this year as we did last year, and I'm already certain we're going to sell out of those tables as well. But the more exhibitors we bring in, the more money we have for travel grants, which means the more people we have to have FaceTime with you in the exhibition space.
Can I put you on the spot one last time before we get out of here, Raul?
Sure.
Well, AVSF have to help out a little bit with this. Can we get another coupon code for AVSF listeners for something when they register? Can we help some way?
Can you charge them more?
Yeah, you get the worst hotel room.
Yes, it costs you RU credits to take classes.
One RU. We must give it up.
Give them the code so that way all their bucks go to us.
Oh, I like that.
We don't get it.
You don't even need a code right now, because until the end of January, we have the early bird registration, which is only $250. Literally 5 days of conference, food and drink, as well as access to the workshops for $250. You're not going to find better value.
Can I just get the food and drinks
just for $250? Yeah,
not the.
I mean, technically,
every
yes.
time somebody registers.
Yeah.
It's pretty good food too, like buffet.
Yeah,
style.
it's the best food.
I mean, this is
at a conference that I've had.
the conference where Justin blew out his knee. I mean, it got wild. I mean, he couldn't even handle it. We had to ship him home.
I was almost
we had
in
to ship him home.
tears. It was terrible.
And we always have great time on the campuses. Last year we were at Boise State. They let us out onto the blue field. Got pictures of our AVSF friends on the field. It was a lot of fun. We find some great venues. This year, our closing reception is at the Utah Natural History Museum. When I saw that space was available for rent, I booked it. So, and I'm already looking at some great venues for 2027 as well.
Unfortunately, you booked only the basement mezzanine. So.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about NWMET is we basically pour every penny that comes in into the conference. So the exhibitors aren't going to say that like we're, fattening our coffers in any way, shape, or form. Every penny goes into the conference, and the more exhibitors we have, the more travel grants we have. So at this point, it's all about the travel grants, paying for the people who at this point are like, oh, I can't go to any conferences this year.
You can.
My school's laying people off. How am I going to go traveling? It's like, well,
my beer, I'll
we'll
show
pay
you.
for you to come.
Yeah, okay. Be there, be square. It's definitely the place to be. All right. So I'm going to be there. Driving there with my RV over the mountains. It's going to be sweet.
You're driving the RV over there?
That way we can
stay
have
in
a
the
spot
parking
we
lot?
can go like set up shop. It's going to be sweet.
We should all fly to you and then drive down
We
together.
can do that too.
In the
Let's
RV.
do it. Road trip, AVSF road
I'm
trip.
not sure I want to cram that many people. in this car.
God, that would be. Oh,
Justin is in his bum knee. Yeah, it'll be a whole thing. Anyway, I'm excited.
Justin's also driving, but directly from Kentucky. So.
Yes.
probably not.
All right. I think.
All right. Well, yeah, May 18th to the 23rd, I think you said?
22nd.
22nd, whatever it is.
It's Monday through Friday. We start, we have basically a pre-conference panel on Monday afternoon all the way through the Friday morning. We have a campus tour. And so everybody gets out of town Friday afternoon.
There you go.
Or stay till Saturday like the cool people.
Oh yeah, enjoy beautiful Salt Lake City.
There you go. Love it.
Or just aligning flights is always more challenging, so I stay till the next day. But anyway, so yeah, hope to see everyone there in Salt Lake City in May. So
We did it.
that said, I'm going to click this
Get outta
one,
here.
and we're going to roll on out of here because we went way over time on this one.
New year.
There's a
Yeah, they got a lot going on this year. All right, everybody. See you next time.
See you next week. Well, we've managed to ruin yet another episode of AV Super Friends Off the Rails. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at mailbag@avsuperfriends.com. If you complain loud enough, we might just invite you on the show.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV Super Friends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.